Gotcha. Alright. Well, sorry, I can't help you. Have fun. Okay. Yep. I'm ready to go. I do not see any reason whatsoever to wait. Why wait for an audience? I don't really do this for an audience anyway. Intermediate player lobby is now up. Booyah Kasha. Alright. Just checking out the lay of the land. Yeah, I think I'm going to start with a recording. That way we don't have to wait. We don't have to figure out if we're catching up to real time. We don't have to worry about anything. What's up, Salty? Welcome. Good to see you, Mr. Salty. Let's see. I'm going to take out the title here. It's not 23 GMT. Spreading the love. Spreading the love today. Alright, I'm going to watch a recording of a player here that I don't watch very much. It's not that I don't like him. It's just that I don't get a chance too often to watch Chris play. Chris plays a lot of Arabia Huns Wars, which can be incredibly entertaining. But usually I shy away from them. Often I shy away from them. But I wanted to watch this one. This is a really high-level one. This is Chris and the player who's calling himself Jorgmungandr. That is Harribel, I believe, but we'll use that name. If he wants to smurf, he can smurf. Okay, chat bridge is connected. Twitch overlay is off. Music is off. Revlobot is on. We're ready to go. We're not waiting. No reason to wait for anything. No reason. Life is too short for waiting. Anyway, Salty's here. Hope you're doing good, Salty. Chat bridge is connected. Let's do this old school if you want, Salty. You and I, we can bet on what these players go up on. If you do bet the 20 population, the 21 total pop, I guess we're betting villager count. So if you do bet 20, you're going to have to tell me who scout dies first. But I will go Chris at 21 vills and Jorgmungandr on 22. Why not? Why not? Anyway, just a random guess. Okay, here we go. So, 1v1 Chris versus PL Jorgmungandr, aka Harribel. This is from yesterday. I suppose that doesn't matter if you're watching it as a video, but this is from early June 2016. Okay, we have Chris coming in green as Huns and Jorgmungandr in the red as Huns as well. The Huns Dark Age is not usually terribly interesting, so I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. But anyway, we see scouting going on around for both players. On the back, doing as well as I could possibly... Oh, good, Salty. On the back will be the main gold here for the red player, and he will also have secondary gold relatively close to the back. I think that back gold will be a really nice thing for him, but the downhill berries, the inability to close the front, make this not a perfect map. Good enough. He can push deer right off the bat, too, if he wants. So in general, you know, maybe like a C+ map for the red player. On the green side, Chris is going to have his gold on the back, stone on the back. And he will have one nice wood line to the side, but that is going to be about it. So yeah, he's got a nice little map too. This is not bad. He can defend this. Pretty open for both players. Wood lines are pretty much one wood line on each player's map. This front wood line is pretty far for the red player. And this is the only wood line that's relatively close for Chris. He does have this one on the back, but it'd be pretty sketchy to take wood over there. Okay, you've seen the maps. We're all caught up. What's going on, Salty? Salty, you said that you're doing as good as you could. 3 on wood for the red player. 4 on wood right away for Chris. So maybe we will not see Chris go up on the normal Huns villager count. Maybe we won't. Anyway, both players women their way through. You can see that Jorgmungandr here is not going forward quite yet. Scouting his side out pretty thoroughly. So is Chris. Got to find all those sheep, I suppose. Got to figure out what avenues you have to block and defend. Yeah, you can see Chris has 2 sheep left on this side. The red player just finding his last 2, so I think he's ready to go forward. So, for the moment, we continue to work our way through this one. Mills going up. You can still see the 3 on wood for the red player, the 4 on wood for Chris. And I think we can speed this one up even just a little bit more. Oh no, Salty didn't get the apartment. Sorry, dude. It's a bummer. That is a bummer. Salty had a dream apartment in his new city. Didn't get it. Don't it always seem to go? But good luck, man. Keep your head up. You'll make it. Enjoy some AOC. Everything will be better. Grab a cold beer. You can see Chris is now just going forward. The red player is actually strafed past Chris's area and headed straight to the corner. He seems to think that Chris is over here, but he'll find him. Both players will figure it out. 17 villager count at the moment, and we are continuing to go through this one at a little bit of an elevated speed. Red player transitioning villagers to wood. Chris is taking the 10 gold, so we are going to see that 3 militia drush at least be an option. Trying with a new cosigner tomorrow. Oh, sweet. Good luck, man. Yeah, the thing about this barracks coming up early for Chris is, of course, he can always pull the plug if he wants. He could pull the plug and go up on one more villager. But I think maybe we'll see a drush. I don't know. Yeah, he's building militia. He has just found his opponent, and he feels comfortable enough already to say that this is going to be a good drush map for him. If we look at Chris's side, he can certainly block in this front part. He can probably block in this side as well, and maybe the wood line and back before his drush gets cleaned up, but man, that would be really impressive. You know, I don't think he can get all of that done. He can block a couple of these avenues of attack. Maybe the front side would be good enough for him for now. I don't know. Sometimes you can drush and wall behind it. I don't really see it for Chris, but maybe he can do it. He's going to grab loom now, just in case of a drush, maybe? I don't know. Maybe he's just going to be able to click up at a good time. Did he push deer? I don't see deer carcasses, but I don't know. The moment he's on 300 and something gold, he's sending the 3 militia food. He's sending militia forward. He's going to be able to click up relatively soon, actually. Right now he's on 21 vils. You can see that the red player did click up on 20. Nothing too surprising there. So on the red side, we will see a drush come in relatively soon. We got a pretty normal build here. Dropping a barracks now. We'll be able to drop what is probably going to be a stable any moment. But here comes the drush. That's going to push 2 villagers off the berries right away. The other 2 villagers wall themselves in. These vills are relatively safe in numbers. This guy, though, maybe not. Yeah, he's not quite so safe. A little bit of a pinch point, annoying part for him to try to fight there for the red player. But he's going to get hammered down on that palisade, and it doesn't matter anymore. So Chris getting a little annoyance in. Nice quick walling, relatively good quick walling here for the red player, who is going to... Oh, you know, this Phil's kind of on an island as well. That Phil's going to be annoyed for a moment. So this is a really good drush from Chris. This is an old-fashioned just... You know, annoy as many vills as possible. Obviously not going to get any kills. 3 vills dropping a stable right away for the red player, who will try to push this back with scouts. Look at this, though. 2 villagers going to stone for Chris. 2 villagers going to stone for Chris. That could mean something is coming here relatively soon. Still has a couple of vills here who are taking the puny trees around the TC. What's his plan? What is his plan? Maybe he wants a defensive tower or something. That's really early to go to stone. I would expect to see vills coming forward here at some point, but, you know, I don't know what to expect. I'm just a guy, not a pro player. So, yeah, palisades are up, wood lines are relatively safe. 2-3 scouts out now for the red player. Obviously doesn't really want to take on those militia with his scouts, but he can clean them up if he needs to at a later date. Yeah, for now, I think he's probably content to going forward. I would think. This drush is not going to get in on any of his areas. His berries are a little bit vulnerable, but a little bit more walling. Here we go, a couple of quick wall panels, and he's fine. He actually only got 10 HP on that one, but it will be enough. Chris is still not coming forward, but he is still taking stone with 2 vills. If we look at his map, we can see that he's already dropped a tower. Where is it? It's on that wood line. Okay, so that's his plan, I guess. Instead of trying to wall in, he's going to go with a defensive tower there. That's totally fine. Seems rational. He will have his stable out and some scouts out behind it relatively soon. There will be scouts all up in his grill soon, but there's not a lot here to harass. He does have his villagers walled in there, palisaded in on one side, and that is going to be just fine. He's going to be all right. I think he's going to be all right here. The berry's a little bit vulnerable, but if he reacts in time, I think it's just fine. Can send those villagers away, probably build a spear here sometime soon. For now, it's going to be scouts v scouts. Chris still on the other side, kind of walking around, just trying to find an angle of attack. His opponent just dropping another archery range. If you look at Chris's build, he really hasn't spent a lot of wood. He's only built the one stable. This Phil's going to get caught and annoyed for a minute, but he is within range of the TC, so pretty nice little tower there from Chris. Almost like he's doing a tower creep on his own side. A couple of spears out in defense. If we look at his resources, he's got nothing. On the other side, neither does the red player. So nobody's clicking up anytime soon. We're actually going to see double archery range and blacksmith for the red player. Nothing surprising there. That's a pretty normal build. But he's going to try to get some archers out and maybe a couple of skirms as well to try to take this back over. Maybe not archers just yet. No gold eco. So skirms working their way out for the red player, who has a couple scouts in play. But for now, he's going to head away from Chris. He has one less scout than he started with. Must have lost the scout in here. Yeah, there we go. Lost the scout in there. Chris with plenty of spears and a couple of towers to defend. He's going to be just fine. So his approach to having a kind of a difficult to defend map was to take a little bit of stone early with 2 vills and build a couple towers on his side of the map. Not necessarily a strategy you see that much. Often you see the 1 tower in defense, but Chris has built 2 and maybe 3. I think he'll have 1, 2 up now, and maybe he's going for more. What's up, Mr. Mojo? Still the 2 villagers on stone. Probably wants to get enough for another TC. The drush has turned into a feudal rush with some scouts. There are some spears there, though, so for now, those scouts are going to be running around trying to find someone to harass. Scouts on the other side, no upgrades on those. For the red player, he's going to come in with 2, but he's just not going to get anything done. Too many spears in defense and too many towers in defense for Chris, who really does have a pretty compact economy. His entire wood line is in one spot with a couple towers that are in series, very safe. His gold and his stone are in one spot, which he has towered and is relatively safe as well. On the red side, a little bit more of a harassable map in the long run. I do hope that he continues to build a makeshift wall across here and eventually blocks in that back area. Because that gold is, it's making me excited. It's making my mojo rise. So yeah, Chris is going to come in here and take on that spear with his 4 scouts. No bloodlines on those. And he will head forward and try to do some pillaging. So the red player is just working his way around the map, trying to figure out how to harass Chris, how to crack the nut here. Chris has a really nice little setup, I have to say. A couple towers in series, one tower within range of the TC, and he's awfully safe. Chris clicking up to the castle age. His opponent will not be up just yet. You can actually see, based on the money, his opponent's going to be a while. Red player here is going to be a little bit. It's going to take a little bit. What's up, Improve? What's up, Mojo? Welcome, guys. Welcome, folks. So yeah, Chris seems to be in a pretty commanding position. He's going to be to castle age first. He's going to grab fletching. Has he put down the double archery ranges? Yes, he has. Presumably, he is building archers. If you look at his gold economy, he didn't go to gold super early, but he's gone to it pretty heftily now. Looks like 7 villagers on gold. Going to be building archers out of 2 ranges, sending those up to crossbow, and then following those up, one would assume, following those up with some cav archers. I don't know, why am I assuming so much? Let's just watch and see. Right now, though, the red player is going to try to make hay while the sun is shining. His opponent is slowly working up to castle age. He has a full army of skirms. Chris, with just a couple of archers, doesn't have a whole lot to say to those skirms until he can take out this spear. His scouts would do very, very well if he could take out that 1 spear on the front, and these couple of scouts as well are also going to be a problem. So the micro battle here is going to be real. You can see the villagers here have mined through that 1 pile of gold that was actually keeping them safe. So stone is GG for the moment for Chris. He targets down the spear immediately on the front. Big fight, and Chris is going to win this, I think. His scouts are in. He's got a spear in. He's making his opponent take a lot of time. Yeah, he's going to win this fight on the front, and he's going to be to castle age with crossbows. So Chris is in a good spot. The crossbow upgrade is kind of interesting because he's only got 4 archers out on the field. Is he building more? No, he's building cav archers. Crossbow upgrade is pretty cheap, but I would imagine that economically it is not worth it for 4 archers, but I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong. TC up immediately for Chris. He's going to have 1 cav archer coming, and maybe he's going to wait. I don't know, a couple cav archers coming out, going to head forward, I guess, and do some harassment. But in general, the fact that he's dropping an immediate second TC suggests to me that he's going to be maybe a little bit defensive here for a moment, try to boom up his eco and beat his opponent in, maybe a little later in the castle age. Could be wrong. Never know. Second TC, though, and just 2 archery ranges for Chris. Has those cav archers, but does not have bloodlines. +2/+1 on those. And he will move in with 4 crossbows. Still questioning whether that was worth the upgrade. Maybe Spirit of the Law has a video that could tell me. I mean, with a pack like this of 9 or 10, it seems like an obvious move. But maybe, on the other hand, it gives him the element of surprise. His opponent's going to see these crossbows and think, oh, maybe there's more to come. I don't know. Grabbing a couple vills on the front, so it's all good. The investment was worth it. He got 2 vills, so it really doesn't matter. Both saw Bodkin Arrow and Crossbowman coming in for the red player, but he's going to have Cav Archers all up in his back pocket soon. Has built Palisade Wall off across the back, which is nice. Going to keep his gold safe. Look at the gold he's taken on that pile. He is very heavily on gold. Chris on the other side is going to have Siege Workshop and a 3rd TC and much less of a gold economy. So Chris will focus a bit more on wood and food to support building more villagers. His opponent here is going to focus on pressure. Pressure usually burst pipes and usually is the thing to go with. I shouldn't say usually, but it's not super rare to keep the pressure on and win. But we'll see. We'll see what the red player can get done. University being denied for the moment, so Bloodlines will be in for the red player, but Ballistics will be a bit delayed. Sending Cav Archers over now, and he will take on that small army of crossbows, but they certainly got their money's worth. I think they got 3 villagers on the front there. Very nice little investment from the green player, Chris, and here comes the counter investment. The red player here coming in with 9 archers. He's going to be cooked here eventually. He did grab a couple vills. You can see that Chris is dropping a 3rd range. He probably has not scouted. Well, we'll see in a moment what he scouted. I want to see if this mangonel gets a shot in. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. The red player here has, he probably can surmise that there's a TC over there. He can probably surmise that there's a TC over here. So he probably, from what he sees on the map, expects a 3 TC build from Chris. So he knows what has to be done. Chris has run into the back pocket there on that gold. He's gotten a couple of vills. Looks like 1-2 vills maybe. Doing a little bit of annoyance. Continuing to slow his opponent. Revlobot is tracking loyalty. Thank you, Revlobot. What's up, Revlobot? Anyway, right now it is a 16 villager advantage for Chris, so everybody knows the clock is now ticking. The red player is going to have to get some damage in here in the next couple of minutes to equalize the villager count at least a little bit. He's going to get really boomed out of this game pretty quickly if he doesn't. One thing he can do maybe is starve Chris of gold in the long run. This 1 gold pile is eventually going to be mined through. Chris does not have a second safe one. But it does look like Chris is holding his own here in the middle. For a player who is booming back at home on 3 TCs, he's pretty happily kind of holding his opponent at bay. The fight is not even a defensive fight, really, for Chris. He's showing so much aggression in the center. He's keeping his opponent's eyes over there. But here come those Cav Archers. They'll be able to run right into this eco. The problem is towers and TCs are close enough together here to put out a lot of arrow fire. You can see Chris is trying to get out to wall that, but he's going to be too late. You're streaming a Chris game and you didn't phone me beforehand. What's up, Europe? What is up, Europe? Yeah, so right now it looks like, Chris is going to have to come back to deal with this. He does have more Cav Archers. He does have the same upgrades as his opponent. He has 1 Mangonel in defense, but of course that is not nearly enough to take on this many Cav Archers. So Chris is going to defend, but he's been defending with a bit of offense to this point, and at least for now, he's got a massive villager advantage, 20 villager advantage, and he's really clean back at home. He hasn't lost any gathering time. He'll drop his university to block that hole. He would do well to block these holes as well. Closing down the angles of attack when you're playing defensively seems logical. I shouldn't say it's the right thing to do. I'm not the person to give you advice. A couple archers down to that mangonel, certainly doing a decent job to keep the ire of those crossbows. Another nice shot from Chris, and look at how low all of those are. Oh, beautiful. He gets every single crossbow from that group, and there is the GG from the red player. So, the writing was on the wall here for Jorgmungandr, aka Harribel. Once you go with a 1 TC push on several ranges and you see that your opponent is on 3 TCs and is booming, you know how much you have to get done and you know how long you have to do it. And yeah, it's very obvious to you, it's very obvious to me, and it was very obvious to the red player here that this one's over. He can't get into harass to equalize the villager difference. 22 villager difference, and Chris having a really great fight on those crossbows. That mangonel shot was beautiful. Poor Barles. Hey, Barles is playing good here. Chris got the better of him in this particular game, and that's going to be it for me for game 1.